South Africa, please allow me to raise my dearest and cordial concern. I'm very, very much concerned about the human rights and the conditions of lives and livelihood of the people. Look at what is happening in our country, South Africa, which has been turned into a banana republic. I remember there's a phrase that President John F. Kennedy mentioned during his inauguration. I think it was 1961 in January, stating that, I quote him, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask you what is it that you can do for your country. This is opposite, direct opposite what's happening in South Africa. Here in South Africa, we want South Africa to do for us. That's why we live on grants. That's why we live on a look, watching it. What is it that the government has to do for us? Complaining all the time. There's something that I realized nowadays. I mean, we are in 2025 and then 2026 local elections, and there's this approach that is being embarked. And we can realize it, we people who are analytical. You must remember, I'm a researcher, so we do analysis. Most of my time I do for analysis of my data. So I can see exactly what is they are doing, you people who always appear on social media and you talk about Sir Ramaphosa, what is it of doing? Sir Ramaphosa, what is it? You have taken our country into a drain. You have done this. There's corruption. There's all this has been happening since the inception of National Party. Corruption have been there. I mean, at times corruption was not that much transparent like it is right now. However, that's exactly what JF Kennedy said. What is it we can do for your country? Are you going to keep on complaining? I just watch at your videos, listening at what you're saying, but after you have said whatever you want to say, I don't extract any logic out of that because you are the people. You are a candidate. You are an agent that's supposed to do something. You don't come up with a solution. I can tell you right now, our country is in the brink of catastrophe, just at the brink of catastrophe. We've got a regime dysfunctionality, hegemonic, monopolic dispensation, economic cliff or drift, educational paralysis, technological psychosis, sexualized job opportunism, management crisis, management and accountability system, due intelligence, forced corruption, excuse me, coercion, extortion, organized criminalized regime, unprofessionalized government or cadre deployment system, defunct public institution, messed up educational system. Everything is messed up in our country. There's no any ministry that I can say is performing better here in our country and is being turned into a banana republic. Why don't we benchmark ourselves with developed countries or fast developing countries? At least, I mean, get into modern cultural systems, employ STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, electronics, engineering, aerodynamics, drone, coding, cyber currency, cyber security, because there's a problem with corruption in your country, auditing, so that you should be able to get into auditing and audit whether the government or any corporate it's functioning properly. There's no corruption. Right now, we are green, grade listed. Grey listing means that our country corruption rate is high in terms of cyber attacks or security, financial security. It's a taboo. So we are grey listed because of that. Our country is one of the most corrupt and insecure in as far as finance is concerned. So why don't this youth be encouraged to get involved in intelligence that's related to that, auditing cybersecurity, get into modern technology, generative artificial intelligence, chat, GPT, robotics, digital economy or transformation, aerodynamics, agrochemicals, agriculture, because there's food insecurity throughout the world, pharmaceutical. I mean, we had a problem right now during COVID. There's no any of the African countries that could manufacture medication that could cure COVID, that can be used for COVID. So we got that from Russia and other countries, and the US didn't want to give to us, and we had a problem. We've got high rate of fatalities. The situation was just unfathomed. It was just a mixed masala. I mean, this renewable energy now, the Kyoto Protocol, the complaining about gas emissions. Now we have to have a transformation from coal to renewable energy. There's another area that has to be explored. Exploration of minerals. I mean, we've got a lot of minerals on the ground, and we lack exploration scientists or engineers. We have to export them from overseas, import knowledge from overseas, and youth development and unprivileged women empowerment, not women empowerment, unprivileged women empowerment. That's what I always fight about it. Why don't you take these unmatriculated females of all age groups, racial groups, and train them in farming so that they must be commercial farmers and supply the industry with fruits, vegetables, meat. Right now we get meat from Botswana, red meat. We get chicken from Brazil. US is also supplying us, and there are so many rules and tariffs, charges, and like it's happening right now with the Trump regime. I mean, people, this we have to do it ourselves. We have got dilapidated infrastructure. Where can we employ industrialization if our infrastructure is like this? It has to be developed, and it has to be renovated. The existing one has to be renovated. We have to go into hybrid educational system, which include formal and artisanal training. We don't have electricians, we don't have plumbers, we don't have people who are dealing with machinery. There is a lot of skills that we lack here. I remember at one stage we had to import people from, I can't remember whether it was China or wherever, to come and assist us, and Brazil. So what is it that you are doing for your country? That's my question. What are you doing for your country? Diversification, industrialization is needed. Human resource development, get into digital economy, digital transformation. There is a lot that we can pursue. What is it they're doing? Only drugs. Our youth is only drugs. Their route, career path is drugs. No, you're not getting anywhere. Forget about complaining about the government, about president, about ministers, you can see it's just a blind leads a blind. So what you need to do is to fix your country. You know, DRC, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, the citizens of these countries, 3 countries, which are very wealthy with minerals, those are galore in those 3 countries. People from those countries, they ran away. They came here in South Africa and they're all over the world. They don't want to go and fix their problems in the country. So you, South Africans, you've got them here, you're complaining, there's fabric approach because they take your jobs. What jobs are you talking about? Working in the farms, working in the restaurant, working in the hotels. Is it work? Is that what can develop a country? What about all these technologies that are mentioned? Why don't you pursue that? Why don't you encourage your kids to do that? You encourage your kid to carry placards. Medical doctor, no work. Engineer, no work. LLB graduate, no work. It's not gonna make a difference in your life. It's not gonna bear any fruition in your life, in their progress. You're gonna do that every day, every night. What they have to do, form cooperatives and go and look for certificates, companies, and go and look for funding, source of fundings for youth particularly. There's a lot of fundings that are allocated for youth development. You have to do that. Now all what you do is to keep on doing. Some of you are indulgent in drugs, and then you say because you don't have employment, so you have to resort to drugs. Is that an excuse? Let me tell you something. Personally, me, I grew up under very adverse conditions. We grew up not knowing what is it that you can do in life. What I mean is not knowing what you can do. I don't mean about a career. Whether can I go for girls? Can I go for fun? Can I go for entertainment? All those stuff. We didn't have drugs at our time. But there's one thing that we had in mind. I'm talking about me, education. I said to myself, I don't want to be beaten up. I don't want to be surpassed by other people. There's not any person who's going to surpass me in life. I pursue education with all what I was doing. I did a lot of things that I can't even mention because some of them, they're very, very disgusting. But I had one goal in mind that I want to be educated. And that's what I did. Right now, I don't have a problem. I know how to be a tsotsi, how to be a mafia, how to be a hooligan, how to be a what. And I know how to be an academic. So choose what is it that you want, you youth. Nobody's gonna choose for you. Choose, make a determination. I've mentioned all the technologies that are available for you to pursue. Go to government and tell the government, we want this. We want to be empowered. We want this and this and this. Check countries like Burkina Faso. That country, the government right now, it was through coup d'etat. But it's sharp. It's unlike the civilian government. Because of why? The person who's the head of the country has got a vision. If the headman doesn't have a vision, the people have to pump in vision into him. Don't criticize him. Construct him. Build him. Make a leader out of him. Some people are not born leaders. Some are made in a gymnasium. Some are born leaders. Different. But you can't wait for the one who was made from within. You can still develop one and be a bust. So, people, you heard me. I'm very worried about your progress. There's no progress. You don't know how to do anything for yourselves. Our universities, you can see our education system is very poor. I mean, I graduated my highest qualification, which Sharon mentioned. I obtained it from Wits University. And at that time, Wits University was the best university. It was Wits Road, UCT. Check how it is right now. Passing mark is 80%. Pass one, pass all. Classes are banned. Teachers are being undermined. They are being killed. They are being patronized. The education system is a taboo. Taboo. So, make the best out of the worst. A brick is manufactured out of waste. Make a brick out of that waste. Check me. If you don't follow me, what I'm saying to you, you're gonna be late for tears. One stitch in time saves nine. You heard me, bye.